Well, I'll tell you what, when you've done some decent work at the sale, when you have people looking to buy the horses you bought after the sale. So, long day. A lot of this we'll talk about on the broadcast tomorrow, but a lot of people asking how we come up with the horses we did, and it's always the same. It's the money. It's the value. My number one pick of the whole sale going into today was number 35, and I could have bought number 35. But some of the things that we see, some of the things that I do, a lot of it's by feel, right? A lot of it is by what that voice in my head is saying. I truly believe that number 35 was our premium horse. This was our horse. And as we get into the sale, as we get into that horse in the ring, we get to 110, 120. I bid 125, and I thought it had slowed down. I knew who I was bidding against. It was Tron Smedjhammer. I could see him right there at the other side of the ring. And it was only him and I. From 65,000 right up to 130, it was only him and I. He bid $130,000. I wonder if you could have a noisier truck. He bid $130,000, and there was just something inside me that said, no. Before she went in the ring, I could go to 150. That was our premium price. That was the horse we were looking at. We could go to 150. I just couldn't shake this feeling for whatever reason that wasn't, even though I was certain it was, I convinced myself this was my number one pick. Just something told me not to pull the trigger. So I didn't. I can't really explain it. For those of you that have ever been around me or been at a sale with me, I don't usually get cold feet. I'm pretty decisive in what I do because we've put in the time. We've put in the homework. Honey, how do you fix that? We've put in the homework. But, straight here. For whatever reason, in this particular instance, with this particular horse, I didn't. I let her go. And Amy and Steve were off to the side, and Steve come over and he was wondering, what's up? Why didn't? He knew what the story was. I just said, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Now, I'll be completely honest. I did go a little rogue on one horse today. I went really high on one horse. I knew that I could sell the horse. I didn't get anywhere near. She went for $510,000. Andrew Harris bought her, so good luck to Andrew with the filly. I was out at $390,000. I just knew that this was the type of horse we wanted for a lot more than we wanted her for. But I also knew there was a lot of people that would be interested in her. So the missing of number 35 had nothing to do with actually missing her and more to do with deciding in that blink of an eye that I did not want to bid $135,000 on this filly. So let her go. As I said, we started off the sale. What is that? Go away. We started off the sale. We started off the sale with a bang. And the story is amazing on number 2. What is the name of number 2? Insider Trading. The green shoe filly. We got a better handle on what we needed today. I think we filled up on Pennsylvania. We might be able to do the New Jersey filly, but Ontario colts are what we definitely need heading into day 2 and day 3. We got our eye on a couple, don't worry. I'm not going to let you go without having them. But we bought number 2, and I'm going to save the story for the broadcast tomorrow. Trust me when I tell you, it's a doozy. So number 2, I've had no less than 2 people ask me if that filly would be for sale. After the sale, I think it was one of those times where Wheels on Fire's brother, number 1, was so big, just so gigantic, that he was actually too big in the eyes of a lot of people. Wheels on Fire himself is an enormous animal. So he almost went for 25. Did they get 35 for him? Yeah, they got 35 for him. They got 35 for hip number 1. Now, number 2 went in the ring, and there was a lull. Now, what took place in that moment in time is really cool. So you're going to have to tune in to the broadcast tomorrow. What is that thing, that little fly? Get rid of it. It's spinning around. It's driving me crazy. Anyway, so we bought number 2, Insider Trading.
You put the car in.
No, I didn't. Put it in. Do you not see that little fly? Look, it's on the video. Everybody else can see it. That's really annoying. We bought insider trading. Got our picture taken with her. I was super happy. Now, at this point in time, I'm thinking we just bought the perfectly priced, highest end horse we can buy. This was a very fortuitous purchase. I'm already thinking the sale's going to work out great for us. We got a horse we wanted. I got my number one pick coming up in 35, 40 minutes. She went in the ring, and I didn't buy her. As I said, I just can't really explain it. Now, as the sale went along, I did not waver a little bit. Turned the page right away. I said to Steve, that's just the way it is. I decided at the last minute I didn't want the filly. We have other horses coming up. We need to pay attention. Number 54 came along. Now that horse, slam dunk at 77. For me, personally, was almost one of my... Gotcha. No, he's dead now. Almost one of my top picks. Almost one of my top picks was number 54. Now, Amy had fallen in love with Brace for Land. Oh, that was the turn.
You didn't kill him.
I didn't kill him. He's right there. Amy had fallen in love with Brace for Landing's sister. What was her name?
I wouldn't say
You fell in love with her. You wanted. Amy picked 3 horses today. She got a wonderful eye. Wonderful eye. She picked 3 horses today. They weighed in at a combined financial weight of about $1.2 million between the 3 of them. One went for $500. The other one went for $510. What'd she go for?
$475.
$475. There you go. Yeah, $1.4 million. What was her name? Oh,
Linnea G.
Linnea G. So that was Brace for Landing's full sister, went for $475. I opted to go a different route. Single jurisdiction. Oh, no, he wasn't. He's dual jurisdiction, but a Father Patrick. This was a Father Patrick, first foal from a Trixton sister. And we'll use Brace for Landing, obviously, because it's who we know. Obviously, there's Shake It Cherries. I mean, it's a fantastic family. Solveig's family. Yeah, but Shake It Cherries in there. So, this was a Father Patrick first foal from a Trixton sister to Brace for Landing and his family. That Trixton filly, by the way, was a $415,000 yearling that didn't race. This was her first foal by Father Patrick. Almost one of my top picks. Almost. For me, at that point in time, now I've turned the page on the one that I wanted for whatever reason. Left it alone. We bought this green shoe filly that's appeared to be a slam dunk. We bought, now we've bought the Father Patrick colt that I wanted. Things are going good. We get beat on a couple out on the big filly that went for 60. I was right. Maybe that had a lot to do with it. I was riding a high.
She was hip 60.
She was hip 60, yeah.
She didn't go for 60.
No, she did not go for 60. Oh, sorry. She went for $510,000. She was a full sister to Temporal Hanover and an absolute knockout. It's very hard to price a horse when it goes for that much money, but I can tell you what, she was a very, very nice filly. So now, as we get through the middle part of the day, got it. As we get through the middle part of the day, so we bought the green shoe filly. Insider trading. This is the half sister to JL Cruz, just a knockout, number 2 in the sale. We picked her up for $42,000. I went by number 35. I was the underbidder on number 35. It went for $130,000. Genevieve is her name. She was my top pick. One of my next picks was number 54, Memory and Imagination. We did a video of this colt the day before. I thought his actual sale video was amazing. The horse's breeding was great. Factor in that little story I just told you about how the mother, first foal out of a mother that was $415,000. It all adds up to, what I would say is $77,000 is a lot of money. But I'm going to tell you what, that was as good a buy I think as you're going to get. The 2 that we've already made, those 2 I thought were right in our wheelhouse. Now, I feel bad a little bit, and this, I don't know how this is going to turn out. So number 94 is a brother to Forever Boy by Captain Crunch. I love this horse at the consignment. I went and looked at him 3 times. I think Nancy was looking at him the first time. Then, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Ryder. Every time I went there, a big trainer was looking at this colt. Especially since Nancy was the trainer of Captain Crunch. First crop, Captain Crunch. You guys know how we love our first crop sires. Pennsylvania only, single jurisdiction. I'm thinking to myself, I got shut out on the first three premium type horses. 54 was a little bit below, which was so good. He fit in perfect. The number 2 horse was $42,000. Again, these are like partnership bucket horses. Our premium horse is still out there. I didn't get Genevieve. I wasn't going to complain about it. And here comes Forever Boy's brother. Now, I have to talk to everybody again. This is the second time this has happened. In Lexington, we bought Punch the Clock, right? And that is King of the North's sister. Time is on my side. It's Forever Boy's brother. I was in at 1:30. Now, the sale, I had so much going on. It never dawned on me, for whatever reason, that I would be stepping on Tim's toes, right? Of course, Tim Twaddle and his owner would be bidding on this horse. But in my mind, I'm thinking it's Nancy Tactor, right? It's Chris Ryder. It's somebody that was there looking at it. I can't even remember if Chris was looking at the horse. But any number of top trainers could have been bidding on this horse. Lo and behold, I find out later, I made one more bid at 165, and I really thought this was a $200,000 colt that we couldn't buy. I made one more bid at 165. We got the horse. I'm pumped. Steve doesn't even like pacers, and he recognized what we just did. You know, he's pumped. Everybody's happy. I got the premium horse. I'm like, oh, I went over. I'm going to have to reach out to our clients again and explain to them what I did. It never dawned on me for a second that I might have just stepped on Tim's toes. Never dawned on me for a second. You know, Tim texted me because he's a gentleman and said, fantastic buy. I was out at 160. Now I feel like a scumbag. Now I feel terrible because a friend, somebody who trains our horses, was the underbidder on a horse that meant so much to him. It meant nothing to me. He means value. I thought we bought an extraordinarily higher priced horse, especially given the circumstances, and I don't try to fall into those traps. What is he worth today? In today's market, at this sale at Lexington in Ontario, I think 165, all things considered, is low for this horse. So I told Tim, there's other horses in the sale. If Tim wants the horse, I might just give him the ticket. I'm not fighting over it. It's not worth having animosity between friends over it. I'm not. The one thing I'm certain of, no one at this sale, not me, not Tim, not anybody else, not the sales company, not any of the vets, nobody in the building of any kind can tell you which horses are going to be good and which horses are going to be bad. And I'm sure there's lots of horses. I can think of at least one tomorrow that I would love to have and would fit into our premium bucket. So I offered Tim. I told him, if you guys want the horse, just let me know and you can take the ticket. It's fine with me. I think he was a great buy at 165. I think he was a great buy at 175. Anywhere south of $200,000, I think this colt, this Captain Crunch, yes, first crop sire, this Captain Crunch, brother to Forever Boy, and he is a Adonis of an animal. He is probably the best looking horse we looked at. And I would have given him points off because he wasn't a trotter, right? Because he was a Captain Crunch first crop. I wasn't looking for one of those. But he just looked so good and so inviting. And it never, honestly, I don't know why, just the moment, just everything that was going on, it never dawned on me that Tim was the underbidder. So I'll be as upfront as I can with everybody. Come tomorrow or the next day, if Tim wants a horse for 165, he can have him. We have other horses. I have other horses on my list that can fill up that partnership. And quite frankly, I went over anyway. 150 was supposed to be the line. Spent 165. I could sell this horse a number of ways, but first and foremost, I'm not going to run over my friends to do it. So Tim will have first choice of this horse because that is only fair. End of story. So I was happy for about 5 minutes. Then I realized what had happened, and then I felt bad for about 10 minutes. I have to go continue to do my work. I was going to deal with Tim. I told him we'd talk about it tonight, and that's what I've landed on. So I don't need anybody messaging me saying, no, you keep the horse, and we should do this, and we should do that. Ultimately, I'm going to do what's right for the stable. I'm going to do what's right for me. I'm not running over my friends to buy horses. If Tim wants a horse, it's his horse. End of story. But we were not done there. So Amy had said the reason we stayed to the end of the sale. It's true. The reason we stayed till the end of the sale was Flashfly. Maybe that was a Flashfly. Flashfly was the last horse. I thought it was Flashfly too, but it's not. It's Flashfly. I saw you looking. The last horse in the sale was a green shoe filly. Now, I've had people asking me throughout the day if I might want to sell number 2. How did you buy that horse? I remember what I told you. I want to be the guy holding the tickets when people say, how did that horse only go for that? I want to be the guy with that in my pocket. And I had 3, maybe even, no, Tim and Blake, 4 people say, man, that was a great purchase on that horse. Thank you. Makes me feel good. Nobody knows until June or July. Maybe a terrible purchase next June or July. But at the time, it was good. We had people wanting to buy 3 of the 4 horses, and this is the 3rd one. A little bit different here. Flashfly, I thought would probably bring 35 or 40. I thought it would fit nicely in either partnership bucket. This was a wonderful component, even though we don't really need another green shoe filly, right? We don't. I told everybody I want to get a couple of bar hoppings. I want to get some international monies. I need Ontario, right? We need some Ontario horses. I even bid on it down by the seaside today. I didn't tell you that, sorry. It's a secret. Just one bid.
Oh my God.
Flashfly is 7 previous foals, 4 winners now. Fashion Woodchopper, who beat me at the wire in Lawmakers. Was it Lawmaker or Tiger? It was Lawmaker.
I think it was Lawmakers PA.
2-year-old.
Yeah.
I just got beat at the wire 2 years in a row. Fashion Woodchopper and Dave Miller just beat me at the wire in the PA final. Now, he's been really the only one in this first family. You know, the second family's got some horses in it. Nothing special. Third family is Habit. That breaks off in a number of directions. Nice horse. Decent video. 27,000 slam dunk. No problem whatsoever on Flashfly. Problem was Dominic was there. He's there with his buddies. They're looking for a horse for around 32,000. But I think Dominic was maybe looking for an Ontario bred. Actually, what was he bidding on before? What was the other one he was bidding on? It was a PA bred, wasn't it? No, it was Tactical Landing. No. No, it was a Walner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a
It was a Walner, maybe. So Dominic at 32, I said, listen, there's no rush. You and your partners, if you want this filly for that $32,000 budget that you had, fine. And this is the problem. When you're there looking for something perfect, right? When you're there looking for that special puzzle piece, you rarely find it. You would end up spending 37 or 20 for a horse that maybe you don't like as much. But this is a day one horse. Might be the last horse in the day, but this is a day one horse. This is Fashion Woodchopper's sister by Green Shoe. She's straight. She's correct. Her video's nice. She's worth every penny of 27,000 plus that. So overall, a little dramatic. Lots went on. But overall, today was an exceptional day for the stable. A very good day for the stable. We came here to do something, and we have it done. Right? We got our premium horse. Now, if Tim buys the horse, don't worry. I got another one for you. It's not a big deal. If Tim buys the horse, that's fine. In fact, there's 2 horses that would fit perfectly in that premium bucket. I don't mean we put 2 in there. We have 1. Either one of them would fit perfect, and they are horses we need also. We don't need a Captain Crunch, but we definitely need Forever Boy's Brother by Captain Crunch for $165,000. Absolutely yes. And if I happen to turn him over, not the end of the world. I do have 2 horses that will fit in that bucket. Again, that would be one or the other. They're both selling tomorrow. So, although we had a great day today and we continue to do good things, I believe, at the sale, we weren't without our drama. But from my point of view, if I don't buy Forever Boy because I'm worried that Tim is bidding on the horse somewhere, I don't know where Tim is. And then Tim goes, nah, we stopped at 120 and it comes up Nancy Tactor. I'm going to be a little upset, right? For my own sake. So I can't make decisions on what might be taking place, what might be happening. My job is to do the best I can for the stable. Along the way, if I buy the horse and I can turn it over and everyone, including Tim and Sophie, Mr. Cohn, and everyone else is happy, then so be it. No one knows what's going to take place 8 months from now. And if that's the way it plays out, then so be it. I'm not that worried about it. So, we had a great show today. We had a fantastic sale today. Very, very happy with what took place. We have some more good horses to look at tomorrow. Lots to take in tomorrow and on day 3.